Welcome to Cord Cutting Today for September 23rd, 2019. This is the show where I break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting right now and give you my opinion on them. If you want to learn more about these stories, I'll put a link to each story I talk about in the show notes down below so you can read about them for yourself. Leave us a comment with what you think. We'll love to hear from you. If you're new here, hey, do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up. It helps us a lot because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we're doing. And hopefully we can help you break free from the high cost of cable TV and still watch the shows that you enjoy. Now, if you are noticing, I'm not in the studio, I'm not in the office today. This is being recorded the night before, so my apologies if any massive news broke this morning. Have some morning meetings I need to take care of today. So bear with me. Hope you can deal with any unusual audio or video as we cover the news of the day. Let's start off with a deal of the day. Amazon's Fire TV Stick and Fire TV Stick 4K are still on sale at the time of this recording. And, but even better, the Fire TV Stick 4K promo code that gets it all the way down to $24.99 and comes with 2 months of Philo for half off is still available. Now, how you get this, why some people qualify for this discount, others don't, your guess is as good as mine. I just don't know the answer to that, why Amazon allows it to work for some and not others. But if you qualify, it's a really good deal on the Fire TV Stick 4K. Now, Amazon is holding a press event on Wednesday to announce new hardware. They haven't said what, but there are reports that a new Fire TV Stick may be among the hardware announced. So that could explain the extended sale on the Fire TV. So let me know if that promo code works for you, if you don't mind maybe having last year's one. I wouldn't necessarily recommend the Fire TV Stick HD. It is starting to show its age. But the Fire TV Stick 4K is an excellent streaming player that I would recommend. So check that out, link in the show notes to the deal and to get the promo code. Next story up of the day, Hollywood has declared war on what they see as piracy with IPTV as multiple services go dark. So we talked last week about how IPTV's, or there was a raid on the IPTV network that shut down multiple resellers' accounts and took off IPTV services for almost 50 million people. Now, Torrent Freak is reporting that multiple other services, including Best TV Streams, One Step TV, TV Streams Now, Dozer IPTV, and more, have had their domain names seized by the MPAA, now called MPA America. They've renamed themselves for copyright infringement. What's most interesting here is usually when this happens, you get a massive amount of press from the MPAA or from ACE when they do this. Right now, they're being very quiet. There definitely seems to be an aggressive, coordinated effort to shut down IPTV. You see Dish suing anybody they can get their hands on, and even going after resellers and people who have used these services through their affiliate program. So it'll be very interesting to see the long-term implications here. Something is in the works. Clearly they're being aggressive. They've taken early victories against things like Set TV Now, taken that success and are now going after anybody who they can get their hands on in similar ways that they went after torrenting and other ones. While this may never be 100% successful, it does seem that they're hoping that they can curtail this by making it very uncomfortable for IPTV subscribers. You see things like their services being shut off. I've heard a growing number of people complain that they have prepaid for sometimes a year or more of an IPTV service. It was shut down, and the seller has stopped responding to them and they didn't get their money back. They also seem to be trying to do a similar tactic that they did with torrenting, which is like, hey, we could sue you. If we find out you're doing this, we're going to sue you. You add this in with Dish recently winning a few successful cases in Puerto Rico, where they got over 300,000 and 400,000, not from people running the service, but from some of those people who joined their affiliate program and we're selling it through the affiliate relationship there. It seems that there is something in the works. I wouldn't be surprised if this is just the beginning of a very coordinated effort. I don't believe for a moment that just so happened there was a major raid in Europe. At the same time, or there was takedowns of them here with the IPTV services going offline. Plus, you have the Department of Justice and the FBI going after iStream at all for piracy. You can see there's definitely this effort to go after streaming. There was always this argument, well, streaming is legal, downloading is not. The reality is when you stream something, you actually download it to your computer to watch it. You just don't save it on the computer, then you delete it. So the difference there is very minor. I'd love to know, did your service go offline? Did any more services go offline for you recently? Leave us a comment. Let us know what your experience has been. I have a feeling, I know people are always like, hey, another one will pop up. I got a feeling that, these major content owners, the MPA America, Ace, Dish, and more, this doesn't cost them much because they have lawyers on retainer. These are lawyers that are on salary. They're not paying them by the case. They're paying them to go after people who are running IPTV piracy services or using different pirate services. So this is likely just the beginning. So keep a close eye on this. I'd love to know what your experience is. Also, and hopefully that's the last IPTV service update, but with this being major news, something we're getting a lot of emails about, I wanted to give you a full update. One of the things we've heard a lot about recently was Spectrum, or this idea with Spectrum and Comcast and all the other ones that you might as well go back to cable because it's cheaper than cord cutting. Because look, I can get all these channels for less than $100. Well, Spectrum has kind of undermined that in their own marketing. Recently, Spectrum struck a deal with a major apartment chain to include the cost of internet TV with your rent. Of course, your rent's going to go up, but that they would, quote, save you money over getting it yourself. In the flyer sent to people who live in this apartment chain, they said, quote, the average Spectrum customer pays $180.42 for 150 HD channels and 200 down internet. The interesting thing is that price did not include DVR, so that'll be an additional $12 about. So really over $190 if you want DVR. That's an interesting, that really undermines this idea that you just go back to cable and you're going to save money. A, we already know the idea that you're not going to be able to watch everything you want to watch with cable. B, when you look at this, you're like, hey, $180, I can get a lot of streaming services and internet for that. Say an average about $70 for internet, that still leaves $110, or let's say $80 for internet to be very aggressive. That leaves you $100 to play with streaming services. And with many of them being $10 or less, you can get a lot of different streaming options a lot cheaper. So let me know. I'd love to hear from you. How does that $180 line up with your average cost of cable before you canceled? For me, when you add internet and cable, that was actually low. That was over 6 years ago. So that probably means, like I've heard from people, there's a lot of people paying over $200 a month if this is the average when you factor in things like promo rates and more. So let me know, how much were you paying for internet? Does it surprise you that the average Spectrum customer is paying over $180 a month? Let me know. All right, Sling TV subscribers, you may have noticed your app updated on Roku, and is probably rolling out to other places with a slightly improved grid guide, but the classic Sling TV app has gone away. So if you are a Sling TV customer and you notice that your Sling TV guide looks different, that classic ribbon guide where you have the channels across the top and then it pops up data below it is gone now, at least on Roku. I've heard with a Fire TV in our testing, it was still there. Other people said it's still running on the Apple TV. Unfortunately, being home, the Apple TV's in the office. I haven't been able to test that yet. But it seems like Roku is rolling out, or Sling is rolling an update on Roku to remove the classic guide. So when Sling TV first launched, they did not have a traditional grid guide. You know, time across the top, channels on one side, and you kind of just break it down by all the different shows as you jump around. Sling TV later said, oh, you know what, we needed to add that. People really want a grid guide, so we're going to add that to our lineup. Well, when they did that, they kept the original guide, which we've referred to as classic, with it as an option if you enjoy using that over the new grid guide. Now, though, with the Roku update, they're removing that and just going to the grid guide. The good news is if you like the grid guide, it is improved. They have improved the performance of the grid guide, fixed some issues with it. It seems to scroll a little bit better. More information is available in there. So let me know. Does that bother you? Are you using the Fire TV, Apple TV, another device? Have you noticed that the classic guide has vanished? Usually Sling rolls it out on one device, and then within a few weeks, all the devices have the new user interface, or at least some of the features of it. So let me know what your experience is, or what you think about the new updated Sling TV guide. And does the lack of the traditional grid, or classic guide, I should say, not the grid guide, the classic guide, bother you? Let me know. All right, next story up. Last week, PlayStation View added some locals, and one thing caught a lot of our readers' eyes was the fact that it did not support DVR features for all the new locals. And yes, PlayStation View with over 500 ABC, CBS, Fox, and NBC locals does not support DVR. This has to do with a contract issue. Something about the contract with these particular owners does not allow PlayStation View to offer DVR services through these apps. So the good news is if you like PlayStation View, pretty much most of the channels allow DVRing. Now, Fox, FX, and FXX doesn't allow fast forwarding on DVR, but these 500 channels, over 500, don't allow any DVRing. If you want to see if your locals would be affected by this, we have a full list of all the channels that are included with this DVR ban in the show notes down below. Why is it happening? That's what a lot of people have been asking. It's a contract issue. Something about the contract Sony struck with the locals said, hey, DVR feature not included. So let me know if you're impacted by this. Let me know if it changes your opinions. I know there's always some type of DVR limitations with something. And I think YouTube TV, doesn't allow fast forwarding and maybe CBS recordings. So there are some other ones. Let me know if you run into anything like this. But yes, PlayStation View doesn't allow DVR recordings on all locals. And while 500 may seem like a lot, there's a lot of locals out there. So you'll find another 500 or so probably do allow DVR recording. So keep that in mind. All right, Seinfeld is coming to a new home on TV. So Sony has sold Seinfeld's cable rights or streaming service rights for us cord cutters to Viacom. That means in 2021, Seinfeld's going to leave TBS and move over to Viacom's TV Land, Paramount, and Comedy Central. Unfortunately, no word on this meaning anything for Pluto TV. We do know that Netflix is getting rights to Seinfeld in 2021. Currently, Hulu has them. They'll move from Hulu to Netflix. And we don't know what this means for Crackle, and we don't know what this means for Pluto TV. Could Seinfeld move over to Pluto TV? Sure, but there's nothing in this press release about Pluto TV. What it does say, though, is if you have a paid TV service, which would probably include PlayStation View and AT&T TV Now, etc., you'll be able to log into your Viacom apps and access Seinfeld episodes through there. So good news is you will be able to watch some Seinfeld content through the streaming. If we hear anything about Pluto TV, I'll let you know. But just a little heads up, Seinfeld's getting a new home on Netflix in 2021 and on Viacom channels for cable in 2021. Next up, if you are a WWE fan, the WWE Network, according to one of their executives in an interview with The Verge, is going to get some new packages. So they're going to have a free package, which will include mostly content that was already available on their website for free, now available streaming through the WWE Network app. There will be the regular package, which is like what you pay for now. And then there's going to be a premium package, which according to the WWE Network, will include content and features that previously hadn't been offered. So exactly what that means is unknown. They did hint, though, that it may also include like free shipping for WWE Network orders if you want to buy like a t-shirt or some type of merchandise from them. But it's a pretty cool feature there. Now, WWE Network was one of the pioneers in the idea that we're going to go sell our content directly to the end consumer. And I'd love to hear what your experience has been with this. Are you a fan of the WWE? Do you use it? Leave me a comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear from you. And next up, last story of the day, Fox will stream Thursday Night Football in 4K if you have a pay TV provider, including AT&T TV Now, YouTube TV, PlayStation View, Fubo TV, and Hulu, to name a few. So a few caveats here. You need to have a pay TV provider to watch it in 4K through the Fox Sports app, and it has to actually have your local. So if you're one of the people who doesn't have Fox in your local affiliate area, you may be out of luck. But the good news here is you will be able to watch it in 4K, but it's upscaled 4K. Previously, Fubo TV has offered this, but it's been through the Fubo TV app. Now, if you have the Fox Sports app, you're going to be able to watch it in 4K for Roku players, Roku TVs, and the Apple TV 4K. Sadly, no Fire TV support this time, but they have talked in the past about adding more support in the future. One thing to remember here, though, this is not the Fox Sports Go app. So that is now owned by Sinclair, who purchased the Fox Regional Sports Networks and has that available there through the Fox Regional Sports Networks content. The Fox Sports app includes the Fox and the FS1, BTN, and more there through the Fox Sports app. So you can find it there. But this will be the first time pretty much all pay TV customers will have the option to watch Thursday Night NFL Football in 4K streaming online. So there you go. I'd love to know what you think of these stories. Of course, though, if you are a football fan, you don't want to pay for pay TV, Twitch will have Thursday Night Football. It'll be free over there on Fox. And Amazon Prime members will be able to watch Thursday Night Football that airs on Fox through the Amazon Prime Video app. So check it out there. Well, I will be back later. Thank you for your support. Sorry about maybe a little weird episode today. We'll see you tomorrow for more Cord Cutting Today news, tips, tricks, and reviews. So hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us as we try to help you break free from the high cost of cable TV. Take care, everybody, and thank you for your support.